you're just not getting past the kind of bubbly, square looks to it. Hello and welcome back to GT Canada. Today we are looking at the roundest square you have ever seen in an automobile. This car is a 2009 Nissan Cube. When they call it a cube, it loosely resembles that shape of a cube. However, every single corner on this car has been rounded out to make a kind of roundy square cube thing. And I'm going to show you kind of what I'm talking about. So here on the outside you can see there are round cues pretty much everywhere, from the headlights to the fog lights, the front grille shape, the side windows even have rounded insides to them. The handle kind of divots that you stick your hand in, they're roundy. Even coming around to the rear, it all wraps around, the tail lights are round, the bumper drops nice and low, which I actually like. Doug DeMuro said nobody buys one of these cars, that you don't just say, I want to get a Nissan Cube and then show up and pick one of these up. We did. We went and looked for one of these and we bought this. So what would make you want to buy this? Well, I bought this for my son, and my son has for the last 3 years been doing an extended $500 car challenge where he's been driving his CRV for 3 years with minimal maintenance and minimal issues. He has now started working full-time and he is looking for a new car. So we started looking at what kind of car options are out there in his price range. Now, he didn't save a lot of money, he doesn't have a lot of money, and he doesn't want to spend a lot of money on a new car, but he did want something a little newer. His car currently is a 1998, this one's a 2009, so it's a 10-year jump. And in that 10 years, cars really came a long way. So this has a lot of features that his CRV just doesn't have. But the one thing that his CRV does have that he really likes is the utility of it. He likes that it's kind of a hatchback station wagon SUV, but it's not like your mom soccer machine. It doesn't look like a family car. It's kind of a purpose-built vehicle that he really enjoys the purpose for. So when you're looking for something that kind of replaces a CRV that's not a CRV, there's really not a lot of options. So when we were looking at what's available, we looked at a Honda Element, which is a beautiful machine and it would do everything that he wanted it to do. We looked at the Scion XB and we looked at the Nissan Cube. Now, of those three, unfortunately, the Element has a cult following where everybody thinks that they're worth a lot of money and they've got really high miles. So you're not getting something more reliable, you're just getting a Honda that costs a lot of money. Same with the Scion. It is still a Toyota and it comes with a hefty Toyota tax. Whereas the Nissan Cube is kind of the forgotten car that nobody really thinks about, and a lot of people don't really care for it, which means the prices drop significantly. This is actually the cheapest Cube that I could find in Alberta, where we film this show. This one has about 200,000 kilometers and I expect it'll go for another 100,000 kilometers relatively easily. So it should be a great car for my son. And with the budget pricing that we were looking in, this was really all we could get, or a really ratty Element or a really crappy XB. Let me show you some of the features this car has. Inside the car, the round theme is absolutely continued throughout. From the speaker grills that are round with this ripple design, to the center gauge cluster, which is also very round. The buttons on the steering wheel, which are circles. It's got a sweet cup holder right here, which actually works perfectly for putting your cell phone, using your GPS navigation without having to touch your phone or whatever. It's even got this really cool round carpet on the dash, which originally I thought this was something that the previous owner had stuck on there, but when I was researching for this video, I discovered that they all come with that. I'm not sure what it's for, because on the bottom side of the mat, it says, do not place any objects on this product. So you're not supposed to put anything on it. The best guess that I can come up with, they put that there because when the sun comes through the dash, it actually reflects onto the windshield and you can't see out, whereas this carpet will absorb that and allow you to see out. I think it's a safety feature that just adds a really unique styling cue. But this car is very well appointed. It has automatic climate control. It is only single zone. It's got steering wheel controls for cruise control, radio. Also, it's got a hands-free mode, which I haven't really used. I don't know how well it works. It has automatic headlights. It has push-button start with a wireless key. My truck doesn't even have this on it. So it's a huge leap up for my son. It's got excellent traction control, power mirrors, power windows. It's got an awesome power sunroof. The gauge even lights up really neat. The stereo, it sounds really good. It actually has a Rockford Fosgate sub in the back, which adds an extra bit of punch to make it just a fun car for a kid or just a young person or an old person who wants something a little bit different and unique. And speaking of unique, there's nothing more unique than how this back hatch opens. Check that out. It is a giant swing open gate, which gives you access to the rear storage. The storage area is decently sized, but it's not huge. It does take up a lot of space from the seating, but the back seats are really cool. Check this out. So these back seats actually have a little pull tab here, and I can adjust it. If I really want to sit vertically, I can sit like this, but I can recline it back in different increments all the way back to here so that I can totally lounge. Plus, I can adjust the seat. It slides forward and backwards. So right now, obviously, it's all the way back because I want the passengers to have the most amount of legroom possible. Now, the front seat right now is all the way back as well, so it's giving me a decent amount of legroom still, which is, it's really, really good. The circle theme is continued through here. There's cup holders everywhere, in the doors, in the middle, even in the back there's a little spot for a cup holder. Now, the engine on this car is actually quite filthy, but it's a 1.8-liter 4-cylinder fuel-injected engine coupled with a CVT transmission. That means it's got one gear and it just adjusts into the power band. This car is actually quite exciting to drive because when you floor the gas pedal, it'll rev up to the optimal RPM and it'll hold it there while the engine just accelerates you through. So that allows you to make a very good use of a low power engine to make a fun driving experience. This car will rocket from 0 to 60 in just over 9 seconds. Now you're gonna say 9 seconds, that's really slow, but consider this. The Nissan 240SX convertible does 0 to 60 in the same 9 seconds. So you'll have a guy in this really tricked out 240SX, if it's still in factory trim, and this car will give it a run for its money. Consider that when you're thinking about how cool this car is. Now, some things that aren't so cool on this car, the rear brakes are still drum brakes. I'm really disappointed to see drum brakes on a car in 2009. I hate drum brakes, I hate servicing them, I hate doing anything with them. Give me a disc brake setup anytime. So the front are disc, I mean, this is the 2000s after all, but surely they could have done disc brakes in the back. I don't believe that a drum brake saves you that much money. The sunroof on this car is really big. It's big enough to fit a 200-pound man through it, which is pretty cool. And just the overall headroom in here. Let me close this sunroof up. One touch auto close. I'll close that so you can really see there's so much headroom in here. I'm not a short guy, I'm almost 6 feet tall, and this car feels very roomy, it feels spacious. In fact, when Nissan was designing this car, they said that they wanted the inside to feel as spacious as like being in a jacuzzi, cozy and comfy like that. And I would say that they achieved their goal. This car is very cozy and comfy inside, and when you've got friends along for a ride on a road trip, I would suggest this could be the ultimate budget road trip car. In fact, for road trips, because it's just got a small little 4-cylinder engine, this is averaging about 8 liters per 100 kilometers on city highway mixed driving. So on the highway, you should be able to get into the 7 liters per 100 kilometer range. That means you can drive a long time off just a little bit of gas with plenty of room for your friends and a modest supply of cargo. I would say, if you're looking for something that is budget-minded, fun to drive, has space, and can be a reliable, fun car, this one easily should be at the top of your list. If it's not, you're just not getting past the kind of bubbly, square looks to it, which they grow on you. Honestly, they will grow on you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. There's no negatives that I can think of on this car currently. It is what it is. It does exactly what you think it should do. There's no surprises. It's just a no frills, no gimmicks car that's just a joy to drive. It's great on the highway. It's great on fuel economy. You can get them reasonably cheap. It's reliable. I wouldn't hesitate to recommend this car to anybody who's looking for something like this. If you're looking for a high performance sports car, obviously don't buy this. But if this is kind of what you're looking for, consider it, because you probably haven't. So I'm actually here just wrapping up my review and putting the car away. And I totally forgot about one really cool feature. This car has built-in mood lighting underneath the dash that is selectable with a little switch here. Check this out. There's a little switch right here, and if you turn it, you can pick different colors to suit your mood. And they're all different colors here. You got red, orange, white, and more white, blue, yellow, more orange, green, purple. There's just little things like that they put into this that just added that extra flamboyant touch for those creative people who just find fun in small details. Fun little things like that though that you just don't expect to find in a budget car. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out our other videos over here. I hope to see you again, but until next time, have a great day.